Good morning. Hope everyone had a good Christmas or holiday or December 25th. Today's December 26th. We stopped at chakra 7. We're going to start with our opening meditation for that chakra, and then we'll read some more. All right. Chakra 7, thought. Opening meditation. Here comes Fat Boy to join us. You gonna do the opening meditation with us, huh? Stop. Okay. Fat Boy, relax. You have gone on a journey. You have touched, you have tasted, you have seen, and you have heard. You have loved and lost and loved again. You have learned, you have grown. You have arrived at your destination intact. And now, at the end of the journey, you are almost home. There is but one step left. The biggest and the smallest of them all. It is the biggest, for it takes us the farthest, and it is the smallest because we are already there. There is one more door to open, and it contains the key to all that lies beyond. You hold that key, but you cannot see it. It is not a thing. It is not a way. It is a mystery. Allow yourself to review the places you have gone, remembering the touch of flesh to earth, the flow of movement and power, the song of love in your heart, the memories imprinted in your mind. Who is it that remembers? Who has traveled on this journey? Is it your body? Then what has guided you? What is it that has grown? Through what have you traveled? Who now would hold that key that can't be seen, the key that cannot lock? The answer to this is the key itself. All wisdom is within you. Nothing is beyond you. The kingdom is before you, within you, around you. It is in your mind. All right, calm down. Which is but one mind in a sea of many, connected, contained, intelligent, divine. It is the seat of the gods, the pattern of creation, the immensity of the infinite, the endless unfolding petals of the lotus, fully blooming and connected all the way to earth. We find it in our thoughts, beyond form, beyond sound, beyond light, beyond space, beyond time. Our thoughts flow. Below, behind, above, around, and through our thoughts flow. Within, without, before and after, our thoughts flow. Droplets in an endless sea. The song of mind is infinite. We have come full circle, and the pattern is complete. Stop. We are the thoughts that make the pattern, and we are the pattern that make the thoughts. From whence do our thoughts arise? Where do they go when they rest? And who is it that perceives them? Deep within ourselves, we find a place to open up our mind. Through starry heavens ever climbing, matter's solid threads unbinding. Out beyond, far heaven's veil. The Father rules the starlit trail. In patterns bright perceived by sight, our thoughts turn over day through night. Through our thinking, ever linking, winding, weaving wisdom's webs, ancient patterns, flows and ebbs. Auspicious Shiva, Lord of sleep, your meditations bring us deep to ancient wisdom found within, a sacred place where we begin. And ending, here we shall return, reconnected, we have learned to know divinity inside and bring it forth with honored pride. The key within our minds we hold, to mysteries we shall unfold. Gateway to the worlds beyond, in sacred space and peace we bond. That's the opening meditation. And now we're going to read. I think I left off at consciousness. Okay. The universal force is a universal consciousness. This is what the seeker discovers when he has contracted this current of consciousness in himself. He can switch on to any plane whatsoever of the universal reality to any point and perceive, understand the consciousness there, or even act upon it, because everywhere it is the same current of consciousness with different vibratory modalities. Satprem on Sri Aurobindo. Each of the chakras is a manifestation of consciousness at different layers of reality. With Earth, your root chakra, being most dense, and the seventh chakra as its opposite, the pure unmanifest unconsciousness, known in yoga philosophy as Purusha. At chakra 7, we must now ask the questions. What is this thing called consciousness? What is its purpose? How do we tap into it? These are certainly big questions, and ones which have been asked by men and women since the beginning of time. And yet, to enter our last dimension, the dimension of mind, awareness, thought, intelligence, and information, we must begin the inquiry for the very, hold on, this page is stained a little bit, for the very faculty that is asking, is consciousness itself the object of our quest? Oh, this is, okay, one of the words are faded out, I apologize, so I'm not going to read it. At least that one word. It is when we ask ourselves, who is minding the store? I've heard that before. That we look inside and notice the awareness within. It does little good to gripe about the store's contents without asking this question, who is minding the store? If we want to change, we must be willing to take it up with the manager. Some call this the witness, an aware being that is always present in the mystery of the self. To witness our own awareness is to begin to fathom the mysterious possession of consciousness. This phenomenon is nothing short of miraculous. A faculty that we all have, but cannot see, touch, measure, or hold. It is the indelible reality that makes us alive. its enormous capacity for regulating the body, playing music, speaking multiple language, drawing pictures, reciting poetry, remembering phone numbers, appreciating a sunset, solving a puzzle, experiencing pleasure, loving, yearning, acting, seeing. The faculty of consciousness is endless in its remarkable abilities. To really turn our gaze of attention upon this miracle is to enter the endless, unfolding petals of the lotus and the true source of the self. The self maintains a storehouse of memory, a set of belief systems, and a capacity to take in new data, while somehow integrating all this information into a coherent sense of meaning. This search for meaning is the driving force of consciousness and the search for the underlying unity of experience. When our own lives have meaning, they become part of a larger structure. When something lacks meaning, it doesn't match up with anything. Meaning is the pattern that connects. It brings us closer to unity. Meaning links the individual to the universal, the true meaning of yoga. I believe this search for meaning is the basic drive of the crown chakra in all experiences prior to samadhi, where meaning becomes obvious. From the mundane to the mystical, the search for meaning is behind most activities of the mind. If your boss is cross with you, you might ask, what does this mean? Is she having a bad day? Is it something you did wrong? Is she expecting too much from you? Are you in the wrong job? When people have accidents, illnesses, and auspicious coincidences, they search for meaning to help integrate the experience. As a therapist, I am told daily about events that occur in my clients' lives. Again and again, they ask the question, what does this mean? Once we discern the meaning of a situation, we know better what to do. Once we discern the meaning of a situation, we know better what to do or how to operate. And we can again flow with the situation. This gives us our basic operating system. It connects us to an overarching sense of order, which can then integrate the rest of the experience into wholeness. Consciousness is a force related to the sattva guna. This force is one of unity, order, and organization. It is the design, the pattern, the intelligence. From crisscrossing waveforms in the brain to the structure of molecules, buildings, and cities, consciousness is the ordering principle inherent in all things. Existence itself is but a vortex of conscious organization. Tapping into this great field of consciousness causes it to descend, where it wraps itself around existing structures and becomes information. Information is the perceived lines of order that make up one's personal operating system. The very act of thinking is the process of following lines of order. As vehicles of consciousness, our natural inclination is to express that information, to use it and manifest it. The ultimate expression is physical form, yet it is the most limited. Because of its limitation, consciousness, after manifesting, wants to free itself from the binding of the physical and return again to its source, the non-physical, where it can play in its infinite diversity. So the nature of consciousness is both manifest and liberate the internal dance of Shiva and Shakti. Okay, this is a short chapter, Types of Consciousness. So I'll just read that one. Types of consciousness. That within us which seeks to know and to progress is not the mind, but something behind it, which makes use of it. Sri Aurobindo. Awareness implies the focus of attention. You may speak to me while I'm asleep, but I'm not aware of it. My attention is focused elsewhere. Scenes may drift by while I'm driving, but they escape my awareness and may be unfamiliar next time I see them. To open awareness, we must notice where our attention goes. Then we can expand or focus it at will. Information is around us in great multitude every moment of our lives. In order to use this information, we focus our attention on small amounts at a time. To be reading a book, you are focusing your attention on it and away from other things, such as traffic, noisy children, or a nearby conversation. The consciousness of the crown chakra can be roughly divided into two types, depending on where our attention goes. That which descends and becomes concrete information, useful for manifesting in the world, and that which expands and travels outward toward more abstract planes. The first is oriented toward the world of things, relationships, and the concrete self. It is a result of limiting attention. It is the consciousness that actively thinks, reasons, learns, and stores information. It is our cognitive consciousness. We can think of it as the lower focus of the crown chakra, organizing finite bits of detail into ever larger structures. The second type of consciousness I call transcendent consciousness. It interfaces into a realm beyond the world of things and relationships. It is consciousness without an object, without awareness or reference to the individual self, and without the wide fluctuations that occur in logical and comparative thought patterns of cognitive consciousness. Instead, this form of consciousness floats in a meta-awareness, encompassing all things simultaneously without focusing on any objects in particular. It floats because it lets go of the normal objects of consciousness and then becomes weightless and free. Cognitive consciousness requires that awareness be focused on the finite and particular, sorted and assembled in logical order. Transcendent consciousness requires opening awareness beyond cognition. To perceive higher order implies a greater distancing from the minute and particular. Paradoxically, this opening beyond cognition has the result of increasing the scope of our focused attention. By emptying the mind, that which remains is more pronounced, like watching someone alone on a field of snow, as opposed to finding them on a crowded street. So that's it for now. Everyone have a fabulous Thursday. Who's minding the store?